I went to a school called Umatilla Elementary School, and it's a little small town. And I remember growing up, I had really thick, poofy, wild hair, thick hair. And I was very skinny, and I had knobby knees. And I would go to school, and the kids would say, "You have this strange hair, and your clothes are so different, and your food looks really different than ours." Coming from Middle Eastern descent, both of my parents are from a country called Jordan. My mom would sometimes bring me hummus to school and pita bread. And I would be in the cafeteria eating my food, and the kids would look at me and say, "What is that?" And everybody else would be eating their ham and cheese and their peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Not that there's nothing wrong with those. Love that food. And they all looked at me strange and different. And for months and months, I would come home crying to my mom, and I'd say, why can't I look like everyone else? Why can't I have long, silky, pretty hair and really fancy clothes? And why can't I have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to school? And my mom would slowly, tell me, "Jaclyn, you really should just embrace who you are, and it's okay to be different, and you should be proud of your Middle Eastern descent." And I never understood it, but at any rate, I was never happy, and I was always upset, and I wanted to look like everyone else. And the kids were just really tough and really mean, and it was very hard on me, and I would come home, crying and just didn't know what to do. And I had such a great group of family support. I'm one of 5 children, and my mom and my sisters and brothers, they slowly started to tell me, it's okay to be different. There's nothing wrong with that. What makes you different makes you special, and embrace who you are. And I realized I was able, slowly but surely, my sisters taught me how to tame my big head of curly hair and how to, comb it and tame it down and still make it look beautiful. And, I would be with my mom sometimes, and they would say, "Oh, you have such a beautiful son." And I'd think to myself, I'm not a boy, I'm a girl. And people would say these things to me, and it just stood with me for so long. And it affected my self-esteem, and it affected my confidence. But my mom never stopped reminding me that what makes you different makes you special. And we're all different in our own way, and that's what makes us unique. And I started to learn to embrace my Middle Eastern culture. I started realizing, part of my Middle Eastern culture, we belly dance, and we eat different exotic foods. And I just didn't listen to what people said, and I was really proud of where I came from, and my mom always reminded me to point out, the positive things and not focus on the negative things, and that was really helpful. And basically, this book, Wacky Jacky, The True Story of an Unlikely Beauty Queen, it shares my story of true story of a young girl who struggled, and at a young age went through the bullying and went through the taunting. And slowly but surely, she made it on up to enter her first beauty pageant. And I don't want to share too much about the book because you'll have to read it, but she entered her first pageant, and she never thought she would, enter a pageant. And she made her own dress, and she made friends, and then the end was really exciting, and I'm going to leave that to you. But getting back to myself, when I hit my teenage years, my mom introduced me to my first competition. And I didn't win, but I realized how much I loved the stage. And I loved getting on stage and looking beautiful and getting my hair and the makeup done and wearing the heels and wearing a big red frilly dress. So that was a lot of fun. And from the teen stages, I then advanced on to the Miss USA competition. And I finally made my way to the Miss USA pageant. And I was a former Miss New York USA. And, again, I never thought I'd be a little girl with this head of frilly hair and then finally make it to Miss USA. So I'm just an example of, dreams can come true, and just to believe in yourself and be proud of who you are, no matter what language you speak or how different you look.